Hello and welcome to Saturday. It's been a day. After coming home pretty late last night and having family over, we kind of just prepped everybody spending the night. So my aunt and my grandmother just had them, we're doing stuff around the house, cooking, cleaning, packing. They are back in Brooklyn at the moment, so uh, all good there. But during the day, I kind of got busy doing something a bit unique. I've been on such a modding kick, basically modding all of my old Nintendo consoles with all of my 3DSs modded, and I'm thinking about modding the two DSi XLs that we have in the other room right now. Apparently, it's very, very easy to do that, and it should only take a couple of minutes, but that'll be its own thing in just a moment. Uh, we'll talk about that later. But the big thing is that today I spent most of my time digitizing my Wii library. Now, the Wii is an incredible piece of technology. You can follow the you can look up and just like see how the modding scene for that has just kind of exploded um, ever since the debut of the console. Back years and years ago, I ended up doing the letter bomb exploit and hacking the Wii just cuz, like, why not, right? We were kids, it was the fun, cool thing to do, and Nintendo wouldn't stop us. But now that I'm like, a competent computer scientist person, I'm having fun with it, right? I do have plans for that in the future, but one thing I've always wanted to do is just like see how far we can push this thing. I've been thinking about using it for RetroArch for just general emulation, and I can just slap on some Game Boy games that I have that I've ripped and just toss them on there and see how well that works. But today, I've been going through all of my old Wii games. Smash Brothers Brawl, probably the one that spent most time in the Wii. Um, just ripping games like this. Uh, Back when I built my computer in 2015, I made the wild decision to have two Blu-ray drives. One because they were kind of rare at the time, just having a computer with a drive, like a disk drive in it. But I was a I'm, as you know, a big fan of physical media. I rip my own CDs whenever I get them, or rip Blu-rays on occasion. But that came in handy today because I was ripping multiple Wii games at the same time. Now, why would I want to do this? Well, it's fun, right? Been thinking about doing this for a while, just seeing if I like digitizing your physical library is just a super cool and fun thing, and having like digital backups of your games, your saves, and everything from when you were basically a kid. We got the Wii Christmas 2006 maybe 2007 something, whenever like the Christmas it came out. So that's a very old console, and it's just super cool seeing like, oh, we can have real nice fun with this. We can push this thing to its limits, and we can just have fun with the console. So I've been messing around with this 2 gigabyte micro SD card, which can't hold a lot of games, but it can hold a lot of hacks. Um, I finally got around to installing Preloader, Boot Me, doing all the configuration stuff, USB Loader GX, uh, Nintendo, setting up literally everything on that Wii and getting it pretty much primed and ready to go. Now, the thing about the Wii is that it does have USB ports on the back, which means you can just hook up a hard drive to it. Or you can do the dumb thing, like me, and apparently the Wii and the Wii U's SD card reader are both very kind of slow, but they work very well for just like, just I can just put a game on there and it'll run, and I don't need an external power brick or hard drive just sitting there. So that's what we did. I bought a SD card, micro SD card today for uh, that's a beautiful thing about Amazon. If you're buying something and like you can't get it anywhere else, Amazon is great. I checked, like I was at the Best Buy a couple days ago when I was out on Thursday. I think it was Thursday. Um, I checked Micro Center's websites and like, hey, they don't really have anything. Well, they do have one thing similar to this card, but it's just like basically the same price for like, you know. So I ordered this today and it got delivered. But this is a 512 gigabyte micro SD card. Is that right? This is the right side. Like, insane. I got this for only a few dollars off of the good old Amazon website. And supposedly the Wii only supports FAT32, but if you format a card to like that's above that, to a lower number, you can do, typically people do like 64 gigabytes or maybe 128, but 512 is pretty big. It for me it was the best price to gigabyte ratio. So went with that, and I'm gonna toss this in my Wii in just a little bit. My brother is sleeping in the other room, so I can't do that just right about now. But it'll be fun just throwing this in with what is essentially my childhood Wii library with Brawl in it. Uh, Notable ones are like Pokemon Battle Revolution. I remember sinking a lot of time into the Blob. All of like Wii Sports, Wii Sports Resort, Wii Fit. Um, just all the good, fun Wii games that we had growing up. Tossing all of that in and seeing like, hey, what happens now? It'd be fun to just like revisit all those old saves, which are still probably on there, and yeah, it'll be amazing to see and do. So hopefully this works. We'll see how well it will. Um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to just tossing this right in and seeing how many Wii games I can just actually just play off this SD card. Um, Wii's emulation scene is super cool too because I can basically just rip the ISO from this, convert it into it's like a WFBS file or WBFS file, which shrinks it and compresses it down by a pretty decent margin. Wii games are either like 4.7 gigabytes or like 8 point something. And Smash is a pretty big Wii game. It's like 5.6 gigabytes, but a lot of that is quote unquote junk data. So it's 8 whatever gigabytes raw. You can throw that into Dolphin, convert the file to WBFS, and then that'll what will happen? It'll shrink down the file and everything, and then uh, you can then go through like and just like put it on the SD card. And if it's more than 4 gigabytes, it'll split the file up. So that's super cool to see. Games like Xenoblade Chronicles, which I have in the other room, will do that. There was one other game that did that too. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, very large games like that will just like compress down super quickly. Wii Sports is, even though it's like on a 4.7 gigabyte disk, it's only a few hundred megs. Things like that will just like, it's so cool. And hopefully, some games probably won't run too easy on this SD card, but for a game like, I've heard the legend that Animal Crossing is a very small file game. Like, you can just, it basically loads the entire game into RAM, and that is super cool to see. And you could probably just do that. You could just load, I think it's like only a couple megabytes. Like, probably the raw file is like less than 30. I've heard and seen. But if I ever manage to get a copy, it can fit on this 2 GB card, and that'll be super cool to see. But yeah, that's that's what I spent today doing, and it's been fun. I'm gonna test this out in a little bit, and maybe I'll get around to doing the Wii U library because, I bought a second one of these cards, and it's sitting right over there. But first, I need to mod that, which shouldn't take too long, but we'll see how that goes. For now, however, that's what I'm gonna call it for today. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you tomorrow. And until then, later.